This has to be very exciting for you, though, to do this in New York.
Absolutely.
And period in New York at that.
No, it was, this is, I think, the third film I did in New York. This
Yeah.
is the most New York movie I've done. And Josh, who's our director, is like the most New York guy you'll ever meet.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, he's like, I brought him to Knicks games, or well, not brought him. He's gonna hate if I say that. He goes to Knicks games anyway, but he'll kill me for saying that. But
he goes to Knicks games. And maybe you brought him.
And maybe I brought
him
once, but I was amazed because we're in the front row and he's heckling the players and the refs like we were like in the bleeds, and I'm like, bro, we're in the front row. Like, these guys can really hear what you're saying, you know, like, and it's the most Josh thing ever.
Got a little decorum in the front, at least. You know?
Yeah. But then I got self-conscious. If anything, it was Josh who inspired me through my playoff run last year. It's like how self-important I am that I felt like I was part of the team. But that
I would, having not been I'm not a Knicks fan. Having not been watching the playoffs, I feel you were very much part of the team.
Yeah, exactly.
They were on a run.
Well, it's a little like in middle school, I couldn't make the team, so they gave me a triple XL jersey, and I ran back and forth with a flag. So I was like sort of like a mascot. But the most New York. Yeah, by far. And no, so proud of how the New York edge this movie has. And just the faces in the movie are extraordinary. Like Kevin O'Leary went out on a limb and he said we could have AI'd all the extras in the movie. It was like, what, Kevin, you're snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Like, this movie's been well received. Why would you say something like that? Fucking Kevin, keep your mouth shut, man. Yeah. No, but point being, all those faces, they're extraordinary. I mean, Josh, with the background casting, with the detailing of the sets, it's really the most New York movie I've ever been in. I feel like one of the most New York movies that's been made recently. Now, without saying anything, I just saw a show on Netflix a couple months ago that takes place in New York. You can tell as a New Yorker if you watch something that's not, if it's not New York, you know.
Again, I've been very suburbs, Georgia, South. Sheltered. Kristen over there who does the men's grooming we were talking about. That's probably the first main like New York person I ever met, and it always is really intriguing. Like, oh, it's a whole nother. So a movie based in New York feels very
about a kid growing up in New York as I've grown up in New York. But I got a lot of love for Georgia. Like I'm in a different life. I'm from like Gwinnett or something.
From Gwinnett? It's right around the corner. College Game Day is one of my favorite shows.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And when they sent me to do College Game Day, I'm really thinking chip on my shoulder. I'm gonna know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have my picks.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have, you gonna throw me a question? I'm gonna have an award that this guy won. I'm a little performative in the sense that I'm now talking about some teams that I definitely didn't know, Kansas, but I had some facts.
Yeah.
And I went up there and I remember I had no notes. I was trying to lock it in, right? And I've got both titles because Fanatics, God bless them, always likes to give a title. So I've got the Georgia Bulldog title and I've got the WWE championship. I got them. And I remember Lee Corso sitting next to me, looking at me, he goes, no notes, huh? And I'm thinking, why didn't I bring anything up here? Everybody has notes upon notes, but when you went and did College Game Day.
Oh, I had notes, man.
I was so excited because I thought, I don't think they know that he knows.
Yeah, they had no clue.
I don't think they know that he's in this. Like, he's a dog. He knows this world.
Exactly.
So just nailed it.
Dude, I appreciate it. I had my notes, and they definitely didn't. I think that was like, so Fox Searchlight, which is the company that did A Complete Unknown, they're owned by Disney, which owns ESPN.
Right.
So I think it was a little bit of a thing like, we don't want this guy on. 'Cause he's not. And then I think the heavy hand came in and said, no, have this guy on. But I know I went up there and I was like, Saban was looking at me like he hadn't seen something like that before.
Yeah.
Because I had a pink jacket on. And he was like, I was imagining, like, imagine if I tried out for one of Saban's teams, man. He would have probably would have traumatized me. But that was hilarious. No, I had my notes and I was locked in, man. I was locked in. But I was walking. It was the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I was walking through. I did Drewski last night. I was saying this too. I had a little bit of this feeling too. I was like, what am I doing here? I'm like, is this pushing it too much? No. You know, but
college football is everywhere, and you came in and you knew your stuff.
And Cam Scadaboo, man, and now he's a New York Giant. I was shouting out Scadaboo before he was a Giant, and before he was shoving Dominic Mysterio with an ankle in seven different places.
And Andrew Schultz stirring it all up. I just did the first movie I've been part of. I did Street Fighter with Andrew Schultz.
Oh, cool.
1994, and it is the game. So trying to capture 16-bit Guile, 16-bit Kin and Chun-Li. And Andrew plays the joke character in the Street Fighter series, which is Dan Hibiki.
Okay.
But again, that's a new world for me. I'm there. What do you need me to do? I'll be there early. I'll stay until everybody. What do you need me to have a coach? Give me all the things. Cool. This is not my world, and I don't want to embarrass my home, but I want to do this correctly. He was the most welcoming presence
Andrew.
on set.
Yeah.
And also, I realized really quickly there was a lot of wrestling elements to what we were doing because they kept asking, just say it, do it differently. Run it, and that I got to just roll, and he was the perfect person for the character to roll with. It was so.
You're talking about like promos backstage.
Yeah,
like,
and it was a lot of
yeah.
that stuff had really loaded me up for. I got one.
Well,
I got one.
not to like be the most cliche guy, but when you watch The Rock promos,
Yeah.
backstage, and it's so obvious how that translated into his movie work in the
Sure.
best way, and
Yeah.
just timing wise and instinct, and what it was like an insane training ground for his career. I feel, to do it in front of the audiences and stuff.
I feel very much. I was going to ask you about another wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm blessed that we have that experience, but on Dune, which Dune.
Yes, thank you, man.
Dude.
Yes, yeah,
Dude.
thank you.
You're in there with Big Dave.
He couldn't believe it. I knocked on his trailer door, and I had the Animal theme song playing. And I hadn't met.
Oh,
I hadn't met him, and I came out and I did. I was going like that in his trailer.
Machine guns?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yes.
he was. The look on his face was priceless. He had no clue, you know that. No, but I love working with Dave. He's a very serious guy, very serious actor. The last time I saw Dave, I couldn't locate my mom at the Oscars. I feel bad because I hope he didn't think I was Hollywooding him, because he was saying hi and I literally couldn't locate where my mother was. And so anyway, Dave, if you're watching this, I don't know if I just shot myself in the foot by saying that, but love Dave, man, and wasn't amazing. And also I loved, Batista and Rey Mysterio growing up. That was like the WWE I grew up on. And Dave's got one of the best entrances of all time. I miss the pyrotechnics, man, I gotta say. I miss the pyro.
So I have pyro.
Yeah,
I have almost the majority of the company's pyro.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
The budget is allocated.
It's the Cody Rhodes budget.
It's really annoying too, because some of the people in Gorilla will be like, "Oh, you got all 3 bursts tonight," and then
But what's up? Is it just too expensive to do all the time anymore?
No, we've been blessed in some of these buildings. We're doing 360 now. So we went from a sellout is what we
Okay,
allotted.
Paul was playing this too. The call out with Triple H was like 40 minutes logistics and 10 minutes. Like,
I love that
ideas.
you got all this information about our operating.
Yeah, no, exactly. No. Well, because I said the raw with the gray steel. He had a fancy word for it. I missed that set because
the Titantron?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of on an angle.
Yeah.
And I missed the SmackDown fist and all that. And he was basically saying that you sell more tickets now, right? Or basically that was there to hide.
Exactly what.
Right. Exactly. A lack of, So, but I missed that set.
Because we go 360. Sometimes you have pyro that's not even pyro. You do the punch and cold
just a
sparks,
noise.
but it's just a noise. And also, I think we've, as a company, maybe tried one time some digital pyro, maybe in San Antonio.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was coming off the roof, but wasn't coming off the roof. There was some moments. It's all in the efforts, because we want as many people to get in the seats as possible. But I would be really sad if they came to me. 'Cause I always wait for the shoe to drop. I'd be really sad if they came to me and said, "All right, that's it. No
they
more."
can't.
No.
They can't.
Well, we've made it very much part of the thing opens, then the whoa, then the punch. But then there's an indulgent extra one that's on the buckle, and that's the one that most talent get a little like.
I can't believe for the cane. We're talking about like the cane one on the buckle?
Yeah, so mine, I go up there, it's
I see,
behind me,
I see.
but Glenn's the old school, he'd be in the center, and they'd always tell you, like, if you were in the ring with him, get to the middle, get to the middle.
I can't believe, knock on wood, that there was never an X. In movies, if you had a live thing going, there'd be yellow tape, there'd be a guy whose one job it is to keep you away with a pool noodle, and he'd make sure, it's
pulling you back.
Yeah, exactly.